Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Welcome into the Auburn Blitz here on this Monday. We're glad that you joined us. Brett and Faith here with you for your lunch hour. And again, we appreciate so very much our partners that allow us to do the program each and every day. Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and
Sensagreen for air that's cool and clean. Call on Sensagreen.
I'm telling you, can't do it without any of those. And so very appreciative of them. And all of our sponsors here on the Auburn Blitz here on this Monday at lunch, Faith, a lot that we're going to dive into here. And unfortunately, it's not a lot of positive that happened over the weekend for Auburn football. Auburn had their eyes on Vodney Cleveland, somebody that you went and talked to a few weeks ago. And the interview's up on our YouTube channel. I know a lot of people are watching on the YouTube channel and tune us in there, but you can go find that. Vodney Cleveland commits to Texas. Now, I mean, you and I talked to him about that and knew that he was going to be taking that trip to Texas, but it really didn't feel like at the time that they were the biggest threat. It really felt like an Auburn lead for him. But again, I think there's an element to all of this now that we have to deal with, and that's money and NIL and what's going on. And we're going to have to watch how all this progresses all the way through football season to see how some of these things end up, because with the settlement and the salary cap now, there's a lot of teams that aren't, they're telling players that they can do this, and we'll see if they can fulfill those promises. But we'll start with Vodney. That was a big target for Auburn in-state, and he's committed to Texas, at least right now he is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other thing is that we keep saying too is just that it's not done until December. A lot of them want to go ahead and get all of this out of the way before their senior season starts. I'm still shocked that he did it so much earlier than what he said just a couple of weeks ago.
Well, this is a couple of guys that we've seen bump their announcement date up, and it didn't work out for Auburn. Travis Burgess, the kid from Georgia, bumped his announcement up and ended up picking North Carolina over Auburn. And now a guy that I think when you look at the top 10 players, Vodney Cleveland has moved up steadily in that top 10 here in the state of Alabama. And once committed to Alabama and then decommitted, and then it looked like, it was a really heavy Auburn lean. And, you and I felt that way, and Jordan Crawford, and he really liked his visit to Auburn. I think we went up the week after he had his visit to Auburn. So, we kind of got a good reaction from him. And then the week after, I think he went to Florida, and you talked to him about that a little bit. But, I felt like Auburn was in good shape. And, you're right. And I know we've been talking about this for a long time, that it's going to come down to Auburn winning in December. But right now, in perception and momentum, Auburn's not in the ball game with some of these other schools. And so it puts more pressure on the season. And not that there wasn't pressure on the season to begin with, but some of these guys that you thought you were going to be able to get a commitment from aren't coming to you right now. So you got to sway them, and it just doesn't look good perception-wise. And I know we'll go through the recruiting rankings, but I'm just looking at it maybe from a surface level right now here at the end of June.
I don't think there's anywhere to dive deeper into it. I mean, the only thing we're all seeing right now is just the surface level. There's nothing more, nothing less to it.
And unfortunately, I think, a lot of these kids like Auburn, but they're – and look, I don't know this, and you and I haven't talked about this, so it'll be good to get your reaction. we know there's negative recruiting going on, and how much of Hugh Freeze's health is involved in what some of these coaches are saying. I mean, we don't know. He doesn't know. And I think a lot of these kids really like Coach Freeze, and we all are praying for him to make a full recovery, but it is a serious situation. And, you know, we know how stressful that job is he's in. Well, when you're battling something like prostate cancer, Faith, or any type of cancer for that matter, I mean, doctors encourage you to not be in the least stressful environment you can be in. Well, coaching is far from that. It never is not stressful. And so I know he's trying to handle that in his own way, but I think that's going on too from other. I'm not throwing stones at anybody. I'm just saying that I think that other coaches are saying, look, man, you don't know if Coach Freeze is going to be there next year or not for a multiple different reasons. And so anytime you can place doubt in somebody's mind about somebody's situation, I think they're going to do it, and I think they are doing it.
I don't think I've thought of that just because I think that's such a low blow that I don't think somebody would do that. But I guess now that you've said it, I'm sure people are doing that, which is really disgusting. And I feel like just a shady way of recruiting. You know, the way that I've been thinking about a lot of this is just from what Sedarian said about how he's not going to know, you know, too much of anything until December when it comes to numbers with money and stuff. And I just think the same thing that we've said from early on is just a lot of people are being promised a lot of things and being told that they're going to get a lot of things. And the truth is that's not going to be what's happening. So with Auburn being so honest about all of that and stuff, I think that's just kind of shying a lot of people in the wrong direction.
It is. And the reason I wanted to start with Vodney is because he wasn't committed anywhere. And we kind of were concerned that when he jumped his commitment date up after he told you July the 4th, that somebody had stepped in and maybe had coerced him to do that.
Well, it was the same thing with Travis Burgess, right?
Right.
Because why did he all of a sudden just right after going to UNC just say, all right, never mind, not doing anything. This is where I'm at.
So it's very clear.
Something was told, something was definitely said where it's like, oh, hey, if you go ahead and do this now, and you're one of the, like, this is what you're going to get.
All right, this next one doesn't make any sense, especially after what he just said basically a week ago. And it's Shadarius Tootle. And, you know, there was a Fong bomb or whatever you want to call it from Will Fong that said that he was going to flip to Georgia probably a month ago, and nothing ever happened. And Shadarius Tootle had been committed to Auburn since last July. And, you know, he's a big-time prospect also from the state of Alabama that, again, was really a cog in the wheel for this class. And he just left, and he just was quoted. I mean, we just read this off last week, talking about Georgia and why, you know, where Auburn stood. And he said they don't compare to Auburn. Auburn was top tier the whole visit. Auburn's definitely back in the top spot. Yes, sir. And he was talking to Christian Clemente over at 24/7 and basically reconfirmed that he was coming to Auburn and was strong on his commitment. In less than 5 days later, he's flipped to Georgia. I mean, that to me, this is the biggest slap in the face maybe of any of them, because he just left and said Auburn was on top.
Well, him saying to On 3 what Georgia is and what Georgia does is something I want to be a part of. Going to jail and getting arrested for speeding tickets, that's what you want to go do? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to look at it for sure.
I mean, what?
They've actually not had any this summer, believe it or not. But But my whole point is that, again, do you know what you say sometimes? And again, when you walk out the door, and again, you have to really kind of process what some of these kids say.
They don't know what they're saying. They're too young. I'm sorry, but they just don't even know what they're saying half the time.
They don't, but I guess what I'm trying to say is you get caught up. Everywhere was the last great visit. Does that make sense?
Oh, everywhere they go?
And I think that's why a lot of people put so much emphasis on getting the last visit on a lot of these kids. And that's why you hear that all the time, is because the last thing in somebody's mind usually stands out when things are even across the board, or if you're trying to make a decision. But he walks out of Auburn. I think kids need to understand the enormity of what they say sometimes. So I'm not, again, there's a lot of time left, and Auburn can definitely get back in this thing. Antonio Coleman flipped 4 or 5 times, if you'll remember, from Saraland last year. He was at Alabama twice. He was at Auburn twice, ended up coming to Auburn. So you got to stay in the game with these guys, and we all know what the end result has to be to try to get back in the game with some of these guys. But I'm just saying, he literally just walked out of campus. And then this weekend he flips to Georgia after basically saying Auburn was the hard number 1 now, and that they didn't compare. So again, I think what I'm trying to say is, even with kids out there, a little PSA is kind of, if there's a little bit of doubt in your mind, don't come out and say one way or the other. Say, look, this was a great visit. I'm still processing things, and we'll see, down the line. But right now I'm committed to Auburn, and then if you flip, but don't come back and reconfirm that, hey, this is no doubt. This is where I'm committed to. And then less than a week later, you're flipping somewhere else. It just really discredits what you say sometimes. But anyway, that's just a little soapbox there. But we're up against the first break of the show here. Again, we taped this show, so we can't take your phone calls, can't take your comments live, but we can take your comments as you watch the show. But again, we're just getting started here. More of the Auburn Blitz coming up right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Zaxby's birthday cake milkshakes are back. Just in time for Zaxby's 35th birthday, so they're gifting you half-off handcrafted milkshakes. Happy birthday to us all. Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Visit our new locations in Gadsden and Oxford today.
Adams Motorsports of Montgomery knows it's the best time to ride. Right now, get the best deals on all of our Suzuki and Kawasaki street bikes, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, and dirt bikes. Adams Motorsports has it all, and our inventory is vast. Get out there, ride the streets and trails, and let Adams Motorsports make your pleasure our business. With family customer service and service after the sale. It's time to ride, so come see us on Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery or online at adamsmotorsports.com.
There are quesadillas, and then there's Zaxby's giant chicken finger quesadillas, packed with their famous chicken fingers, cheese, and a whole lot of sauce. We're gonna need more napkins. Zaxby's giant chicken finger quesadillas. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
The clock is ticking on the spectacular pre-owned truck sale now in progress at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Chevy, Ford, GMC, and Dodge trucks and Toyota trucks too. Full-size and heavy-duty, smaller trucks, work trucks. Prices and payments on all pre-owned trucks have been slashed. This is your chance to get a clean late-model used truck at the price you want. And during the sale, special finance rates are now in effect. This sale may end at any time. One location only, Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. 45 minutes left on the show. Today, we're glad that you've joined us wherever it is that you're tuning us in, and whenever it is that you tune us in. We appreciate our partners, Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and
Cincy Green Fair. That's cool and clean. Colin Cincy Green.
Brings a smile to your face every time you say it.
Every time.
Great, cool air, and very, very nice people over at Cincy Green, nice people at J.A. Smith, and awesome people over at Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores. Just talking about Auburn and this weekend, it wasn't a good weekend. Look, I don't try to rose-colored glass anything. When things aren't going in your favor, they aren't going in your favor. And, now you can say whatever you want to say. JaMichael Garrett decommitted last week. He was a long-time linebacker commitment from Gulf Shores. It's now moved to Baton Rouge. And then now you lose Shadarius Tootle and a guy in Bodney Cleveland that you thought was a good opportunity to get in this class doesn't come either. So I'm looking at it from a momentum standpoint. So really, Faith, the only thing Auburn can do at this point is what we've said is take the roster that they've got and go out and execute and start winning some football games to start building their credibility up. That really is, to me, the whole crux of the matter. Auburn's got to build their credibility back up with these kids. I mean, you think about, what are these kids, 17, 18 years old? They were, 13, 14 years old the last time Auburn had a winning season? I mean, you think – I know a lot of people go, man, that's crazy, but it's the truth. I mean –
That makes everyone feel so much older, I think.
Yeah, well, it does. I mean, but the thing
we
is,
didn't have a winning season the whole time I was in at school, so it's just like I don't even know what it's like to have a winning season.
That's pitiful, and that is completely pitiful.
It was hard being a student at the time.
Well, it ain't any easier right now. And again, the only way that things can change is that results, man. I mean, it sounds like a broken record, but Auburn's got 6 commitments in this class, and I'll let you go over. And when you look at team rankings, Auburn's fallen down to where, Faith?
We're all the way down at 60 right now.
Where's Alabama? Alabama's ranked 42nd. I mean, but I think I think when you look at it from a momentum standpoint, it just feels like Alabama's got a lot more momentum and some guys that are about to commit in the next couple of weeks. I think they feel like they've got E.J. Kroll. I think they feel like they've got Sadarian Morgan. And we'll look at where some of these guys are or were this past weekend that Auburn's definitely targeting. But, you know, Auburn's down to 6 guys, and they're 60th. And I know there's a long way to go, and you got a lot of ground to make up, but I think Auburn had 9 commits in this class at one time, and they're down to 6. And you and I are headed out today to go see the guy that's the highest rate recruit we got left in this class, and that's Hezekiah Harris.
Yeah, I mean, what I was going to say was right now, Alabama's got 8 commits, and we've got 6. So I just think.
But I think they're about to get a boatload more is my point.
Yeah, I think they are too. And, you know, we got 3 4-stars and 3 3-stars. And then Alabama's got 1 5-star, 6 4-stars, and 1 3-stars. So it's just like they also have, I don't want to say more quality players over than us.
Well, that's it. I mean,
but they've got more talented guys, highly more talented. I don't know.
Higher ranked.
Yes.
Higher ranked guys.
I don't like that, but yeah.
And look, everything kind of fluctuates, and we know that. But overall, their class. I mean, that's why it's ranked higher.
It's just better than ours.
Well, it's why they're 42nd and we're 60th. I mean, it's not brain surgery. I mean, you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. But when you look at it from a standpoint of what can Auburn do, it's going to be a little bit of a tough stretch for Auburn. I'm trying to give a disclaimer here for everybody. I'm trying to tell everybody that it's going to be a little bit of a tough stretch.
We're not going to get any commits here in the next month.
Do what? Are we going to get?
I'm saying, are you giving your disclaimer because you don't think we're going to get any recruits here in the next month?
No, I think there's one that we're about to get that we'll talk about. I don't think we're going to get completely shut out, but I don't think it's going to be some flood. I don't think it at all. I think maybe we get 2 more and get back to around 8 or 9 commitments. I think Alabama could be going into the season with 12 to 14. Yeah. And those 12 or 14 are going to boost them up considerably.
Way higher, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they were to get the commitment of Sadarian Morgan in a couple of weeks. Also, some of these other guys that they're in on that easily could bump them up into the top 10 probably. Sadarian's the number 1 player in the state, and so we'll have to kind of watch that and see. But, you know, there's a couple of guys that I'll say for the next segment that I think, you know, Auburn really needs to try to solidify. But when you look at who Auburn's got left in this class right now, I think they've got some really good players, especially, you know, Hezekiah Harris, who you're going to be putting that interview out very soon, because that's where we are right now as everybody watches the show. We're in Huntsville meeting with Hezekiah Harris, so I can't wait to hear what he's got to say about this class and kind of what he thinks about Auburn, because he was at Tennessee this past weekend, and we'll go down that list of where players were this past weekend. But Denarius Gray, big-time wide receiver from Hollywood, Florida, and then Devin Carter, who I think Auburn really has to hold on to, another wide receiver. And, again, you start seeing Marcus Davis have a massive impact. You know, where Auburn continues to really make hay is at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of watch that and kind of see how it all plays out. But that's the 6 guys that Auburn has right now, along with Parker Pritchett, Wayne Henry, Eric Perry. So, and I definitely think Wayne Henry is a guy that could definitely go up in ranking. Same with Parker Pritchett, who's a big-time offensive line commit from Columbus, Georgia. So, all right, we're up against another break here on the show. Stay tuned. More to come here on the Auburn Blitz right after this.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carry or cool cash rebates. Visit sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensagreen.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering, or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event. The Auburn Blitz halfway through our show today here on this Monday. We hope everybody's having a great day. And that means it's time for
Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. As I was just there on, was it Saturday, maybe?
I don't know. You tell me.
I was there.
Oh, yeah.
It was Saturday.
It was Saturday. That's right. You had to go pick up some stuff.
Yes. And so I got a nice call from my good friend Paula, and she told me that I had 2 tiger tails waiting for me over at Pepper Tree. And
I didn't get that call, by the way.
Do what?
I didn't get that call, by the way, but I'm not judging.
No, you didn't, because she knew my parents weren't in town, and I was just a lonesome soldier this weekend. And so I left my house, and I don't know if I should be telling people this, but I preheated the oven while I left my house, because I went over to Pepper Tree and picked them up. And by the time I was home, my oven was already nice and hot. So I got to put them in there. They didn't even, I was going to take a picture of them. I didn't even get a picture of them because the second they popped out of the oven, and I called my mom and I was like, Mom, like, I don't want to cut into it because I don't want it to like go everywhere, but I also want to make sure it's cooked all the way through. And so she was like, you have to let it sit for a second. And I was like, let it sit. Are you kidding me? And then I finally was able to cut. I ate both of them yesterday.
Burn your mouth? Did you
No.
burn your mouth? Okay.
No, but they were so good. And when I went in there, they were stocked of literally everything. I was going through the little freezer section too, just going and seeing what they had. They always have fresh bakes, like they had sourdough bread, they've got pies and stuff like that. So it smelled good in there, and I was really,
It's always smelling good in
oh my gosh, I ate 2 of them yesterday. Like they were so good.
You definitely will not go hungry at Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. So I'm glad you
No.
enjoyed that. And
I
thank
did.
you to
So
Paula.
thank you.
to Paula for
Thank you,
that.
Paula and Kathy,
Very, very
and
nice
Jeff,
of her.
everybody over there.
So they've got 4th of July specials coming up. We're going to talk about that all week. So you need to go ahead and get your orders in for
Yes.
those, the ribs, the Boston butts, the burger boxes. Everything is outstanding. Go check out Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine over on East Glen in Auburn, or Pepper Tree in Montgomery. All right. Where are some of the big targets for Auburn this past weekend? Where were they? Alabama had a star-studded lineup. Sedarian was there. Tank Jones was there. Anthony Davis Jr. was there. Xavier Kroll was there. And I think they feel good about 3 of those, if not 4. And I think Tank Jones is a guy, again, Auburn has really courted hard and has been to Auburn a bunch. Sedarian, same thing. But right now the momentum is definitely in their favor, I feel.
Well, I think too, just what you just said last segment about how the last school that they visit that's the last taste that they have in their mouths.
That's right.
In Auburn not having any visitors the last weekend just allows people to go to other schools and have that last.
I still just don't like the timing of that. People can make every excuse that they want to make, and they can come up with every reason why, Faith. But I'm just telling you, I don't like having everybody else scattered all over the place, and Auburn had an off weekend. I mean, before we head into the month of July, it's just my take on it. You know, others can disagree and say it doesn't matter, whatever, but I think it does. That's just my take.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I was getting to, was it's just like why. And they said that, you know, we didn't have any other visitors that we wanted to come in, or everyone kind of came in when they needed to. But then we go back to when we had those big midweek visits where we had a bunch of 4 stars and 5 stars coming in on a Tuesday. And it was like, why can't
you schedule that? Maybe that was a scheduling conflict with them and they weren't going to be able to
I
visit.
know. I don't know. But I just don't. I think Auburn we just get left out of it because
we do.
We're not there. We're not listed on here. The only place that we're listed on here is where it says Auburn commit underneath a different school's visitor list, which
isn't great. All right, Georgia had a couple of guys Auburn's really after, Jay Lamar and Valdon Stone. You know, Valdon Stone, he's jumped up the rankings big time defensive line prospect. Again, when you look at him, 6'3", 316 pounds. He's from Blue Ridge High School in Virginia. You know, his top 5 seem to be Oklahoma, Auburn, Georgia, Florida, and Nebraska. Kind of a mixed bag on where a lot of schools feel good about him right now. But, again, he was at Georgia this weekend. So kind of wait and see on that. Miami, now this was pretty big news, and this is a guy I think Auburn will get next. And you and I felt this way, is Jaquez Wilkes, 4-star linebacker edge, canceled his trip to Miami, and he was excited about going down there.
Yeah, that's the one trip where he was just talking about how excited he was. They were taking him offshore fishing.
Right.
And he was, he'd never gone, and he's told us how much he loves to go fishing. So that was already something that it was kind of, oh man, they've got that set up all the way down there for him. And he's really looking forward to that. You know, hopefully that's not going to get his attention because he's doing all these cool, fun things. And then hearing that trip was canceled, we were like, whoa.
Right. So
good in our favor, but what happened?
Maybe a little good news there, you know, in waiting. We'll just leave it at that. All right, we've got several other guys that we want to talk about. We're going to take another break here on the show. When we come back, a couple more segments coming your way here on the Auburn Blitz.
Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air has teamed up again with the Food Bank of East Alabama and Montgomery Area Food Bank in an effort to reduce the high percentage of food insecurity within our communities. For every new Dixie Cares Plan membership purchase, Dixie will be donating 7 meals to partnered food banks. Over the last 3 years, Dixie, along with your help, has donated over 34,000 meals. Thank you for choosing Dixie and for helping us make a difference within our community.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We are located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. And for any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bugs Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bugs Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bugs Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bugsisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 for Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Back everyone to the Auburn Blitz. Couple segments left on the show today. Again, we appreciate all of you that join us each and every day here on the Auburn Blitz for your lunch hour. Faith, we were talking about some guys where they went this past weekend, and Ohio State had several guys that Auburn is looking at. That one, namely Braylon Womack, that's a very big target from the state of Mississippi. #1 safety in the country. And again, his dream school is Ohio State, but he really likes Auburn, had a good visit there. You think Auburn ends up with Braylon Womack when the dust settles?
I would like to think so. There's just, I think, that winning factor that is pulling him towards Ohio State. I mean, you see how well they did last year and how well Auburn did last year. So having his dream school be so successful, and then having Auburn where he's got those ties to Auburn, sometimes that just isn't going to outweigh his dream school. And it is further from family and stuff, but
right.
That doesn't matter. If his dream is to go and win national championships, guess what? Ohio State's going to be the better place to go do that than where Auburn's been the last couple of years. But I would like to see him at Auburn. I do think he would be able to have such a big impact just in his athleticism and his IQ. Right. But again, look at how Ohio State's done and how Auburn's done.
Well, and again, I talked about it, I think, on Friday. Auburn being able to land recruits that are ranked nationally, from other states. Yeah. And being able to attract them to Auburn, is it's perception. And when you see guys, top players from other states coming to your school, sends a message to other players. And,
right.
That's kind of why Georgia and Ohio State and Alabama, with what they've been able to do, has paid dividends. They won, and they go after kids from other states, and they get them. You can add Texas into that mix again, too, with their recent success with Steve Sarkisian. So, all right, Denarius Gray, who's committed to Auburn, was at Ole Miss this weekend. Again, a 4-star wide receiver that is from Florida. He's been committed since January of 24. Okay. So if you want to look at it from a standpoint, he's been a long time commit, but taking these visits and you know how Lane Kiffin is, and offensively what they've been able to do over there. So we said this many times: the guys that you've got committed, you got to keep them. You got to be able to hold on to them. And Auburn's lost a couple here on the defensive side of the football, at least in the last couple of weeks. So we'll see kind of how that plays out. Do you think that's a big deal? Think there's any fear there? Your personal opinion?
Personal opinion, we know that I don't want anyone going over there to Ole Miss that has any
that's why I asked you that.
Auburn.
I had to get your take on that.
Yeah, I know. You're putting me in a
not putting you in any position. I just know how you feel about it. I just wanted you to tell the world.
I think we'll be just fine. Hopefully,
been committed since January 1st of last year.
Yeah, that's a really long time ago if you really think about it. But I think he should be able to just see through all of Lane Kiffin and everything he's saying.
Why don't you call him and just tell him about it? So
I might as well.
Just pick the
I
phone.
will.
All right, moving right along from that. Manny Iannacho, who has definitely proclaimed Oregon is his leader.
Yeah.
Made an official visit to Auburn. Just again, one of the top offensive linemen in the country, actually number 2 interior offensive lineman in the country. 6'6", 345 pounds. Just a massive human being. I don't see him tarrying away from Oregon. I think that's a hard deal. I think they've got a deal in place with him, and he's been firm there. We'll see if anybody can come in and maybe put a crack in the armor, but I think he's an Oregon Duck.
I'm sure no one at Oregon misspelled his name, so
probably not.
Probably
not. That wasn't a real good deal. Again, whoever that was probably should be reprimanded at minimum. All right.
Hopefully it was an intern.
Why are you having an intern do that? I mean, can we just, again, it goes back to, I'll shut up. All right. Tennessee, we're as people are watching, we're talking to Hezekiah Harris right now. He was at Tennessee this past weekend, along with Craig Tutt, who is another Auburn target. People been concerned about his visit to Tennessee. You're going to find out a little bit of info here, Faith. The world's watching you on this one to see what Hezekiah Harris tells you today.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about Craig Tutt. I was like,
no.
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about because I'm not talking to him.
Check out what I mean.
I'm sorry. I think I just got.
I just said the world that we're talking to Hezekiah Harris as you watch the show, and then you're like, what?
I think I was just confused. Yeah, no, I'm excited to talk to him again. He's been committed for how long now? A long time. I will know that for sure before I go tomorrow.
So what kind of vibe you get off of Hezekiah Harris?
No, I'm just really excited to talk to him and just hear how his visits have gone. And just kind of I want to know his confidence in Auburn going into this fall.
Yep. So, I definitely, and I want to know how firm he is. Maybe he gives you a definitive answer and goes, hey, look, enjoyed the visits, but shutting it down, going to Auburn. So I think Auburn people would like to know that, possibly, if you could get that information. All right. You got anything else? We got to get a break. You come back, or do you want to add anything real quick?
We'll be back right after this break.
There you go. We'll be back. More of Auburn Blitz right after this.
At Majestic Caverns, we believe in the power of unforgettable experiences. At a cool 60 degrees year-round, America's most historic caverns guarantees an enjoyable escape. But it doesn't stop there. With over 20 above-ground attractions, including 5 new ones this year, and our Cave Cafe, which offers delicious drinks and plenty of food options. And don't miss our exciting event, Libertas. On June 29th, July 6th, and July 13th, enjoy live entertainment and much more. At Majestic Caverns, your unforgettable adventure awaits.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Better buildings, better prices, better buildings of Columbus.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare. Serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Buying a home or property can be the biggest investment of your life. The Wisdom Firm is licensed to close any property purchase in the entire state of Alabama. The office is on both Bank Creek Drive in Auburn and Highway 49 South at beautiful Lake Martin. The Wisdom Firm has you covered. Give Travis and his team a call at 334-826-0722 or check them out at www.auburnlegal.com for all your real estate closing needs. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than the quality of legal services made by other attorneys.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
For air that's cool and clean, call Senza Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Senza Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carry or cool cash rebates. Visit sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Senza Green.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Auburn Blitz final segment here on this Monday. Again, we appreciate all of you out there and really appreciate Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores with 9 locations in Central Alabama for all your home building supply needs. Check out one of their convenient locations, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. No job is too big, no job is too small, residential and commercial jobs. They'll come in and do the pre-site work for you and get you ready to build whatever it is that you're going to build. So call on J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. And
Senza Green, for air that's cool and clean. Call on Senza Green. They are the carrier experts in the state of Alabama, proud supporter of Auburn athletics and a proud supporter of the Auburn Blitz podcast. Save thousands of dollars with the installation of a carrier unit through Senza Green.
Man, couldn't have read it off any better than that. All right, some other visitors that were at Texas. Not good. It was Vodney Cleveland, and he commits to Texas. And Trenton Henderson, Caden Prothrow, we've talked ad nauseum about them, and Tyler Atkinson, another target for Auburn, all out at Texas. When you go out and again, going back to team rankings, where are some of the teams that Auburn's competing with? Obviously in the SEC, right now, Texas A&M's all the way up at 2. Georgia's at 4.
Both of them having 19 commits.
Right. And then Texas sits there at 15 commits at number 9. So those are the SEC teams in the top 10 right now. If you want to look at it by conference, where does Auburn rank right now? They rank 14th out of 16 teams. Kentucky and Missouri, the only 2 below them. You got South Carolina at 13, Ole Miss at 12, Oklahoma at 11. Again, so much is going to change. So much of this is going to change. Alabama 10, Tennessee 9, Vandy 8, Mississippi State 7, Arkansas 6, Florida at 5. Again, a team that we seem to be in a lot of battles with. A lot of things coming down to Auburn, Florida. LSU at 4, Texas 3, Georgia 2, and Texas A&M at number 1. And you can go through here and say, hey, look, there's a lot of pressure at Texas A&M. There's definitely a lot of pressure at Florida. There's pressure at LSU, I think, with the fake Southerner down there. I think there's maybe a tad bit of pressure at Ole Miss. I mean, if you look at Lane Kiffin, and he's been.
Did you say
close.
Alabama?
I hadn't said Alabama yet. There's definitely pressure at Alabama. And look, I don't blame Alabama for bringing Nick Saban out and taking pictures with the recruits this past weekend. But Nick Saban's not coaching anymore. And Nick Saban, and I kind of talked about this with some people this weekend. I mean, how do you think Kalen DeBoer feels right now? I mean, I didn't see any of these recruits posting pictures with him. And I don't know. I think he was gone part of the time. Maybe I know Keelan Russell's sister died, and he and several of the players and all went out to that. I don't know when that was, but I saw Nick Saban with a bunch of recruits. I didn't see him. And, I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of, do what you got to do, get the recruits in to sign. But Nick Saban's not running out of the tunnel coaching anymore. And, I mean, again, it just feels like that carryover is still what's drawing kids to Alabama. But Kalen DeBoer definitely's got pressure on him this year. And he missed the playoffs last year. And if they were to miss him again this year, he's going to really find out what it's like to have pressure in this conference, especially at Alabama. So,
yeah, I think they've got a lot of proving themselves to do, but having Nick Saban come out when he's not the one coaching them, you said.
I
mean, that would just be like Auburn having Cam Newton or something. Like, I know it's different because Cam's a player that came from Auburn, but like it's the same idea of this big figure.
Right.
That it's just what am I gaining from this other than
it's almost like who's still running the ship? Who's in control? You're paying Kalen DeBoer to be the head coach. He's the head coach, but there's who's getting the pictures. People. I mean, and I get it. I mean, again, I'm not cutting it down. If Auburn had a former coach right there that had won multiple national championships, you feel like you got to bring them out to do that. Hey, by all means. But again, if I'm Kalen DeBoer, and of course he'd never say it, I'd be like, man, I'm kind of
posting any pictures of me.
I'm kind of over here, guys.
I'm the head coach now.
Right. So just a lot of pressure on him you're never living up to that guy, first of all. And he keeps hanging around and everybody wants their picture with him, not you. And then you got to go out and win. And everybody's blaming you because you suck and you're not as good as that guy. I mean, I'm just saying mentally, that's what they're saying. Oh, we lost. You didn't make the playoffs. I mean, it's like the guy's over there going, man, I can't do anything right. So, but he's got to win. And if he wins, he'll change the mentality of the fans. So, not to say that all Alabama fans aren't backing him. I think they're kind of waiting and seeing too, see what he can do this year. It'll be fun to see. But anyway, as we get closer to the end of our program here, I know we got to wrap it up. And Auburn's got a lot of work to do. Not really worried about any of these other teams. I mean, just looking at it from where we are in the month of June or in the end of the month of June, Auburn's lost a couple guys. There's some momentum going in other directions. Auburn's got a lot of work to do. You can spin it however you want to spin it. And so, but Auburn's got a really good roster. They should have no excuses. The schedule sets up pretty well for them. They just got to go out and get it done now, period. Buckle your seat.
I mean, I don't know how many times we have to say it. Like, actually.
I know we sound like a broken record, but I mean, you have to talk about it.
That's the only thing we can't do anymore.
But you have to talk about it. Right.
Yeah. It's just saying, okay, this is what we're looking forward to doing. This is what we're expected. And I think the confidence will grow with the wins behind it.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
No doubt about it. All right. Well, that's going to wrap us up for the Monday edition of the Auburn Blitz. Again, we appreciate all of you so very much for tuning in. We will be back with you same time, same place tomorrow for another edition of the Auburn Blitz. Again, reminder, go out and subscribe to the Auburn Blitz YouTube channel. If you have not done so, all of you that have, thank you so very, very much. For Faith, I'm Brett saying we've enjoyed it. We hope you have. See you next time.